Hey everyone, guess what? We are here with Francesco Paoli from Fleshgod Apocalypse, formerly Hour of Penance, which is a fantastic band also. Francesco, thank you for taking time out to come hang out and chat with me.
My pleasure, and it's amazing you remember because it's long time ago. I was in Hour of Penance, man. Like wow,
16
15
years
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, we did the vault conception is 2008, so almost 20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's wild to think. Now it's funny.
crazy.
I caught Hour of Penance one time and I think this was after you were in the band. I think they after you had made the switch to Flesh God full time, but they were on tour
Mhm.
with Morbid Angel, and I love Morbid Angel, but Hour of Penance fucking ruled the entire night. I was like, holy shit.
Very happy. Very happy. When was it? Where are you from
Uh,
exactly?
I live in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay, so Kentucky means that yes, 100% I wasn't there because I think they did the first US tour like a few years after my departure, like probably 2, 3 years later. So yeah, so it was Paolo, the guitar player, now that is playing guitar and singing, was there already, and yeah, I think was James drumming maybe because it's like the lineup right after my departure and Mauro departure. So yeah, and Julio always been there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It was such a good like time watching them play. I was just like, yes, this is this is what I live for, just live music all the time. Enough about Hour of Penance.
yeah.
Like, since you've been with Flesh God, I feel like you guys have really gained such a huge following and dealt with honestly a lot of bullshit as a band. The first thing that comes to mind for me is you guys had some equipment stolen a couple years ago.
Yeah, like right now a little bit more. It was I think something like 2006, 18 maybe something like that. But yes, well, like we got robbed in Sweden, and it's very unusual. Let's say for at least for the common perception of things here in Europe. Like you expect something like this in a more Latin, longitude, something like that. You expect it to here in Italy or in Portugal and in Spain, but in the end, we never had problems here. Actually, we just had the van open and they took all the equipment, and then we got contacted actually from these people. They blackmailed us. They wanted money, and in the end, we everything was already in police hands because we didn't want to lose money on top of the gear, of course, because you never, these people are you cannot trust them anyway. So you we just have to deal with it, and yes, that was let's call it a little misadventure, but yeah, shit happens. I'm very proud that we never asked or begged for money to recover, because something I see very often is that like all the bands they behave like victims all the time, and I understand that in a way it's very important to for the fans to support you. Sometimes it's like it's not like we don't want the support or fans help. It's just that we want to deal with the issues that we face uh in a more mature way. Let's say we fix it, and what do we write music, we play live, we print and sell merchandise. Those are the ways you can help us to recover, so that's the way we wanted to do it. So I'm very, this kind of misadventures also are opportunities to face reality and prove who you are in a way. So I'm very, 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 very proud. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see the different ways that bands handle those issues.
Yeah.
However you look at it, right
Yeah,
or
yeah,
wrong.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying that in a way, this kind of things can happen to anybody, and not everybody has the chance to go online and ask for money. Like if you're a professional band, you have to figure out yourself how to make it work. And I'm not saying it will never happen for us. Maybe this is going to be one of the ways in the future, but at that time and probably still now, if you're a professional band, you should be like you should be able to handle this kind of things on your own,
Yeah,
and with the help of the fans, but in a more regular way, let's say, like in a more honest way. They come to the show, they buy the merch, they support you online, they listen to the music and everything, and all these kind of things turn into money. And that's the way we keep going, we progress as a band. So there's no difference for that. That is like COVID or these kind of things. They just happen, and you have to deal with these things.
yeah. COVID. I think COVID had you know, it created a lot of issues for, a lot of people through the
Yeah,
world, and
yeah,
especially bands. There were a lot of bands
yeah.
that didn't make it through COVID.
That's true, but it's not like our profession, if you want to call it a profession, like the business side of what we do. It wasn't the only profession, the only job that was hit heavily by COVID. So uh, I just, I just thought, we should invest in our time, invest our resources, our energies in doing something that is worth for this kind of times, because we couldn't play live or whatever. So we started the podcast, we started many things that were also that they were, all these kind of things were very far, in from our mind and our uh approach, let's say, because we always been like writing music, playing live, writing music, and with some exceptions like photo shoot or interview or video clip, this kind of things. But that was definitely going outside of our comfort zone. First of all, because I'm like, I was hosting a podcast, but it was the first time doing something like that. And the language barrier, and many technical issues, because we were building this up while we couldn't actually meet because it was lockdown times. So it was also not super super easy. So like properly, like technically, logistically, to do it, to make it work. So but these kind of things, you see, it's like another proof that if you want to make it work somehow, you can find ways. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, we all face not the greatest situations, and you have to adjust, whatever that looks like. It's, sometimes it's losing your job, finding another job. Other times it's finding another platform for a band that's stuck in
Exactly.
lockdown, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. When it's broken, you fix it. If it's not broken, you don't. But when it is, you have to fix it somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my favorite saying. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Um,
Yeah.
uh, so, you recently announced a tour with you all, Avatar, and our friends in Frozen Soul,
Yeah. Amazing.
starting April 16th. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
is
very
there,
close.
yeah, I mean, just a couple of months away. So is there a show on that run that you're like really looking forward to playing? Maybe a city where you've got some really good
Uh,
friends?
yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, like for sure. The we have. First of all, the tour is going to be amazing, and it's going to be very exotic for us because we usually go with more like extreme metal oriented bands. So this time is also an opportunity for us to play for a wider and maybe new audience. uh we will have, our diehard fans coming to the shows, and probably we have some kind of a, like a bleed with the Frozen Soul fan base in a way, because we're melodic and everything. um but yeah, like I'm looking forward to play for new people that are not used to this kind of music, and show them that our style can be also cool. And so that is yeah, my main expectation is to play for completely new people. And like that said, that's why also I'm looking forward to play in cities we never played. So yeah, like LA, New York, these places, oh, they always kill it. It's like the main cities. Uh, it's in a way, you take it for granted that it's going to be a great show, but at the same time, you get used to that. What is very exciting is the something when something new happens, and going a little bit astray from the regular path of the regular routing of the tours can be very exciting, because you play for new people and for in new places, and meet new people from new areas that you usually don't go, or maybe it happens every once in a while, like every 10 years. So yeah, it's great. It's gonna be super cool. And of course there are two super big festivals, which are gonna be probably the no, like for sure, not probably. They're going to be the first two real, festivals that we play on United States soil. Because we played some festivals, but we're in Canada. Back in the days, was called Heavy Montreal and probably Heavy Toronto. That were those festivals were more like European festivals, like something like that. But we never had the chance to play like a proper festival, European style festival in United States. All the other thing we did in the United States that was kind of like a festival was, apart from some tour marriages like that we did in the past, that they turn out like an indoor festival, stuff like that. It was probably 70 tons, the cruise. But those kind of things, like regular open airs, it's the first time. So I'm looking forward to play these two shows. So yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Rockville and Sonic Temple. I think are gonna do
Yeah.
great. Obviously, I think Avatar does really well in those scenarios, which
Yeah.
you know it, I feel like, and this might be weird of me. I feel like the Avatar fans are going to absolutely love you all.
I hope so, man. I hope so as well. I mean, like as I said, there are some connections. Some, we call it, like, technically we call it bleeds. In between the audiences. For sure, there are people that listen to Avatar and listen to Fleshgod Apocalypse, of course. But for the people that usually listen to Avatar, and more like mainstream, let's say, kind of music. Avatar has some extreme stuff, but they also are very like, some songs are very, very like radio hits, stuff
Yeah.
like that. And we don't have anything like that. It's the style we have is very underground. And
I think I'm gonna just kind of argue that for a second. I feel like the style that you have is really like gaining popularity, and a lot of people
yeah,
are absolutely into it. Like, and
that's
it's
that
growing.
is that is amazing in a way, but it's not like meant to be. Like uh, we uh, we get we grow older, and like our tastes and probably our skills, and probably also our yeah, abilities in general, like songwriting wise, or even finding the right concepts, or lyric wise, they grow with us. So we are refining this aspect of the songwriting. We are refining and finding the best ways to make the songs sound the best possible. Like we are getting better at it, because it's a complicated balance. And again, there are some things that need to be put in the equation, like for example the language barrier and everything like that. And we are not those kind of bands that just have like a random shit lyrics. We most of the stuff is philosophical and stuff, so it's also very complicated to find something that's it's still poetic, but at the same time it's easier for us to translate in a way. So there are many small aspects that I that in the past were like they were put under the umbrella of immaturity. I call it like no, we were not mature enough to get there, to do this, to say this way. Now, yeah, we are refining these things and we're getting better and better, but it never happens that we say, okay, we're gonna do this and this is gonna be on the radio, because the elements that are the foundation of our music are too extreme anyway. Like the concept is complicated, the orchestration is over complicated, and the drumming and everything else, and the vocal styles. So yes, we have new stuff that is developing and giving us a little bit more variety, and that definitely help us to land in two different in different situations, like radios or podcasts or playlists that we never have been able to reach in the past. But again, it's just a chance. Like it's not something that we really can we
It's not
can
something
really
you don't
do
strive to
it
be
all
on the
perfect.
radio,
What,
right? Like
sorry?
you don't strive to be on the radio, right?
We
Like
well,
you,
we would like, but if that happens, it's great. We did a great job. But we don't have any real expectation.
right.
Whatever we do, we like it. We put it out, and we're proud of it. But even if the result is zero, we're happy, because it's not meant to be popular in a way. It becomes popular for any reason, like TikTok or a radio or the right interview or whatever that pushes our artistic proposal. That is great, amazing. But it's we don't have the elements to start doing something that is like 100% like performing in this type of medias, or that is reaching so many people like this. It takes a lot of time. So yeah.
Well, it definitely takes a lot of time, but I think, overall, what I like about the band is that you guys write music that you want to write without,
Yeah.
there's not that, well, we're going to write this song and play it so it gets played on the radio, and we all know there are bands that do that, a lot of bands that do that, but
Yeah,
the
but it's the purpose, the foundation of the band is different.
yeah, the
So
music
like
that we all connect with are just, I think,
yeah, it's
authentic
amazing.
from the musicians.
Yeah, that it's like a taste alignment. Like I do something that I like, and when I put it out, I have no expectations, and there is this magic that happens. That is, other people like it, so they have the same taste, something like that. Like they are aligned. And now there is also another thing that goes beyond this, which is even more interesting and even more amazing. That is, it's not just like a taste clicking with them because of the style or the genre or whatever, but it's also the fact that we started talking about ourselves a little bit more in the songs, and in a clearer way compared to before, because it's still a poetic way to treat some kind of topics, but it's way more in your face, let's say. So people, you know, connect to this kind of stuff. Like they yeah, they find something in there that is important for them, you know, which is not just the entertainment aspect. It's something more, and that
Yeah.
is something that makes you even more proud, because it's not just the, oh shit, I make a great song and people like it. No, it's like I make music that help people to go through hard times, to find motivation, to get inspired and get better or whatever, you know, or just to people that realize that you're human, and they of course have to face some odds in life, and they see that you did the same, and somehow you figure out a way to come out of it, and that kind of thing influence them in a positive way. So that's amazing, you know, like
Yeah.
it's the
Well,
next step for us. So
there's a commonality within music that I think often gets taken for granted, right? To me, music is the great unifier. Like when we go see a band, and I'm sure you can attest to this, like you're there for one reason. We're gonna watch this band, and everyone is on the same page. There's no outside bullshit that's dividing us in those moments, you know?
mhm.
So for a band like Fleshgod Apocalypse to meld these different styles into the music that you all create, I think more and more people are really starting to connect with these nuances, like how orchestral the music is. It's not just straight verse, chorus, verse. Let's punch you in the face, right? It at times it's really delicate, and at other times it's really heavy. And those are nuances that me and I would assume I can speak for a lot of people that say this is what we're looking for. We want contrast in our music. We want music that we feel a part of. And especially when we go see a band, we connect with the music. And when the band puts on a great show, like Flesh God Apocalypse, like there's no better feeling in the world. We are united in those
Yeah,
times.
yeah, amazing. Well, yeah, and yeah, we're very very thankful and very, like again, it's not this kind of things, you never have uh to take it for granted, like the like appreciation from other people, and support, and I know we give a lot to the people, like in terms of like we spend a lot, we consume ourselves for in the end what people want, music, show, you know, the all entertaining thing. uh it's very tough to pull off, and we give 110% all the time, but I think we receive much more from the people. So this kind of unity you're talking about, when you like perform live, you feel it, you know, like it, you go back home after a tour, after a show, after a festival, with much more than what you gave, you know, like it's like an overdose of energy, you know, that you bring home, and that's amazing. That's why I'm very very grateful for that. I mean, like sometimes you think, you know, like it is it's part of the game. Yes, it is, but not that much, not anymore, with this kind of competition, with this kind of like with the industry of nowadays, industry with with whatever it's, you know, surrounding us, a million bands, a million, you know, releases and everything like that, having people choosing you, coming to your show, connecting with you, and crying, singing along, enjoying in the purest way the show. It's something that you're just speechless. You watch them and you say, oh shit, like, wow. it's it's so fucking great, and it's impossible to describe. So you just absorb that like it's that moment is fixed in your mind. You absorb that energy, and that stays with you. So yeah, so you are even more motivated to come back with new music, new shows, because it's like it's kind of addiction.
Yes,
So
it it's a much better addiction than crack,
yeah,
like
definitely safer.
that's that's for sure.
Yeah.
Much safer. So, with you getting so much from the crowd at every show, how do you wind down after a show?
Mm, like after a show, what do we do after a show, or what?
Like, how do you wind down? Because I know when you're on stage, like
Yeah.
adrenaline is pumping. Like, how do you come
Yeah.
down from that?
Yeah, it's super clear. Well, like, um it's like two different things, probably. One is like the performing side, which is which is it's a very interesting question. Never Nobody ever asked me this, but it's a good opportunity to try to explain this. um we go on stage and we transform in a way. So uh in a way, the Francesco you have on stage is a performer, an entertainer. So that kind of thing requires full focus, professionalism, and absolutely abnegation for what you're doing. Like it's like you go there, you have to nail it, and it's like it's a job. It's a work that must be done in the best way possible, and that is the brain. That's the brain area. So you go there, okay, I need to become Fleshgod frontman and nail it. So I go there and I give them 110% to deliver. That is the brain area. Then there is the heart area, which is different. Um, Sometimes you go up there that you don't even, you don't know what to expect. Like, I'm going to open for Avatar, and I have no clue of what is going to happen. Maybe they're going to throw a bottle on me. Maybe they're going to like it. Maybe they're going to, just leave. You never know. So you don't have like a realistic preparation. You don't know what's going to be there. But most of the time, not always, sometimes, things are not as you expect, but 99% of the time you go up there and your soul and your yourself, you're the same. So yeah, you go there, you get this boost of love, and then when you come down off stage, you have to deal with it. Like you have to relax, and as I said, transform this love into energy, into motivation, and into yeah, it's in something to that you should really be thankful for, something like that. So these are the two sides. You have to go there, but the hard part is not enough, because you still have to deliver. But you cannot just go there and think about playing. You just also need something, and it's scary because you don't really know what's going to happen. And when you click with the fans, when there is a connection, then that kind of thing is magical. And when you go like back to the dressing room, you are overwhelmed, and completely, as you said, high, let's say properly, like with this kind of thing. uh and you get used to that. You get addicted to that in a way, and when you come back home, you feel a little bit depressed. So a post-tour depression is some kind of it's a proper sickness, like me, Eugene, our drummer, like we suffer a lot of this kind of thing, like when I go home. I'm not saying I'm not happy coming home. I love my family. I'm a family guy. So when I come home, like, oh wow, amazing. But that kind of adrenaline, that kind of love, like so pure, it's very, very addictive. And being around, traveling, jumping on stage, and having this roller coaster of emotions is something that you miss when you come home. So now it's been like a few months that we are home, working on other stuff, and I really can wait to come back on tour, to go back and play for people. That's my mission in a way.
Yeah.
So yes.
How does that?
Yeah,
So is it like when you get off tour, everyone talks about that post-tour depression. Is that like a grief you deal with for some time? Like, oh shit.
it's super. It's like you are hit by like in an unexplainable sadness. It's like a loss, you know because um, rationally speaking, there's nothing. No, the tour is over. So the positive and the negative of the tour are over as well, and you come back home and with your family and with your in your place where you are. You want in your you come back to your comfort zone, like you come back um to the safest place. Okay.
Yeah, well,
But
yes, I
you miss
think.
this kind of adventure, like you miss the and so every time you come back, you lose that kind of adventure and unexpected, that makes you feel alive in a way. So yeah.
Yeah, but I would almost argue that being on the road and being with these people so many hours of the day, like you're on the road, they are also family. So it's like I
Yeah.
guess it's a different sort of like comfort or
Yeah.
like safe
It's
zone.
even harder for this reason because we get along a lot. Like we are friends, first of all, and we are friends with our crew, and we get along with other bands. So we never have fights. For example, we're not that type of band that get drunk and fucks it up like all the fucking time. Like it's like we are. We know how to enjoy ourselves and have fun without you know ruining the atmosphere and the like the in like keeping the tour environment clean in a way, like emotional wise, let's say.
Healthy.
So no jealousy, no we just do our thing and we leave the other do their things without creating any kind of conflict, let's say. And these kind of things make the tours very fun and very, very enjoyable. So it's despite the fact that is, of course, the traveling is tough and whatever, and being away from home, it's also tough, but you also feel home there in a way. So when you come back home, you miss that dimension in a way. So yes, it's even harder because if you go on tour and you hate everybody, like, oh, I hate my fucking drummer, I hate my singer, or my soprano singer, she's a bitch, like stuff like that. I can't wait to come back home. I don't want to see them anymore, like. And then but no, it's just like brother and sister. So it's like, okay, I go back to my routine, which is great, but also that is so amazing. It's so exciting. It's the purpose of my life, like the main thing of my life. So it's not that easy to leave it alone and leave it for months. Like you would, if it was for you, you would be there like all the time. And
That is true.
Saturday, Sunday home, and the rest of the week like kicking ass somewhere in the world, like somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, with that, I guess,
Nature like that, something like that.
yeah, but I guess you've got to love both, because if you don't,
Yeah,
why do either of them, you know?
yeah.
So, are you guys working on new music?
I don't know. Yeah, more or less. Yes. Oh,
Okay,
we always working on new music, but it's probably too early to talk about like a new album or like proper new songs properly. Let's say we are collecting stuff, but we never stop doing it, especially
sure.
because uh, like making a Fleshgod album is super super long process, let's say. So even to release an album every 3 4 years, it's like a very very, it's super demanding, because we are lucky enough to have the chance to come on tour pretty often. So there's that time that it's very hard to work on the music, because like many other bands can write when they are on the road, stuff like that, we can't. I need to take my time to have my routine and have my uh, like my familiar environment and my yeah. I'm very you call it when you do it always the same way, habituary,
Oh, it's
something like that.
it's
I don't
it's like habitual.
habitual way of working on the things, like I like to to find new paths, to experiment, to try to you know uh go over the limits, and but at the same time, I need my like regular process to make it work, so I cannot do it on tour. So this time is basically uh off from songwriting properly. So whenever we come back home and we have like a more extended time frame, we focus on the writing and focus on new ideas, new concepts, and everything. And then we pick the best, and then we refine the songs like around, let's say, a couple of years before the release, and then it takes a year to make the songs properly, and then releasing, like recording, releasing, it takes another year. Like, so it's super like diluted process. It's not very very uh, easy, so, or fast at all. So yeah, so I'm working on stuff. Yeah,
I think I would assume that it takes a while to process, because you guys do have so many elements, and
yeah,
it's not like you go on tour on a cycle and we do a world tour and then go right.
yeah. It's about like it's not like writing like songs that are about a riff or a drum thing, or like there are bands that there's mostly lyrics and the frontman, and they have a band like it's like the frontman plus the band, like this kind of things that you basically arrange around the topic of the song and stuff like that. So it's different approaches. For us it's more complicated, and we are perfectionists, and we are pains in the ass, and we are very very very, you know uh, sometimes we are also very insecure in a way, so it takes me months to be sure that I want to do that thing, or I want to talk about that topic, or I want to do the album that way. It's like it's super slow process. It's
Yeah.
a lot of work. You do 100 to come up with, and you keep probably 5%. Okay,
But
but that 5% probably is what, what leads you to a 100% result. Because if you just skip whatever comes, most likely it's not going to be a 10 out of 10 album. It's going to be like full of fillers, or very boring, or definitely not interesting, at least for our you know ADHD approach when we listen to music. To like it, it needs to be very stimulating. It needs to be very, very dense of informations, because we are a little bit like that.
Yeah, well, I think
Chaotic,
overall we need
chaotic.
that, right? Like we all need like,
No, it's an organized chaos.
yeah. Hmm. So when you write something, do you listen to it often until you decide like, okay, this one's good enough, or do you
Yeah,
just,
like it's very random. Sometimes yes, and and maybe in the end that thing is not gonna even make it to the album. Some other time you don't, and for some reason, at the end of the process, you figure out that that thing has something special. So it's very it's very unforecastable, let's say. Like
okay,
yeah, you have especially with time, like with age, we are more aware if something is going to work or not. We are more efficient in um, picking the things that are worth to focus on, let's say, so you waste less energies. Yeah, this is a good, kind of picture of how it is now compared to the past. But still, sometimes you have an idea while driving or taking a shower, and that it makes to the album. Some other time you write something and you work a lot and you listen to it a lot, and you evaluate and check and like over and over, and you audit the quality all the time, and then in the end you realize that it's not as cool as you thought. So you know garbage bin, and that's it. That's where it ends. It
so
doesn't end in the album folder. It ends in the garbage.
well, some of those old ideas that didn't make it or weren't good enough at the time, do you take pieces of those for newer things? Like, oh, this was we thought it might have been good here, but it'll work better now.
I don't know if it never happened. I feel like if this happened, it's like a super small percentage, and like close to nothing. The stuff that you hear in the albums, it's mostly new stuff. Like I had, I don't know, like material for 50 songs for opera, and we did like 9, 8, 10 songs. The rest, is it good? Yeah, for some people might be possible, but if it didn't make it back then, I didn't see why it should this time. uh the thing is, maybe the exception can be made by, like, I had a great idea, like a great concept, or I have a super cool chorus about a specific topic, or I have like a specific riff, something that is like a diamond, but it doesn't fit for some reason, and then it can be picked up later on. But again, it's like 1%. Like, it's very, very rare. So most of the time we write to have material for making the songs, and then these songs are made, and when you have these songs, you feel like, okay, is this better than this? No, then goodbye. It's gone.
That's It's good. I think it's really important for an artist to make a decision quick, because the more you, I don't know, the more you listen to it, or the more times you have to tell yourself, "Oh yeah, I think that can be something." I think you end up selling yourself, and like I achen back to like the pop world. They're so like
Yeah.
single focused, and there's so much filler. Like even some of the crap on the radio, I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like, but it's the way that everything works now. Like the lack of attention means that you really have to maximize everything in a very short uh, time. Like what's the purpose of doing 40 minutes of music, of great music, if people are gonna listen to one? And on the commercial side, like on the commercial point of view, probably for those artists that are copy pasting the same song like for like forever, then might be a business strategy that works, to survive. um, but this is a different world. It's like underground world. So in what I do it mostly for myself. So I don't really have the need to, or I don't have the.
You don't have to placate other people. You're doing the music for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't. My career is not changing. It's not. I'm not going anywhere if I do something which is more popular. Like I'm still like after maybe I can have like a more hype, or I can have a better spot in the festival. I can have one more tour, but like my life is not changing. Like it's this is the amazing part, and it's you are part of a community which is much more real, much more honest, much more uh truthful, and you can write and aim to write an album of 50 minutes, and taking care of details of on the last song. You can do it because it's not, your career is not depending on one song or one chorus or one small thing, or like a small TikTok or Instagram story. It's not that. It's much more. So you do it for yourself, and you do it from second 00001 till the end of the album, with same attention, same drive.
But I think it's the difference of looking at the whole picture. Like the album to me is the full artwork. Like the artwork, the music, everything collectively, that is the art. Or, looking at a piece of it, like
Mhm.
like a TikTok or an Instagram story or a single or a chorus or
I mean,
whatever. And
like,
I think that's a difference in how people create, right?
yeah, yeah, probably yes. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like, if there is a way to do it, to I don't know if I got the point, but if you're saying uh, that we are writing like the whole thing, and we don't mind about that thing, like the specific single, and maybe somebody else does. I don't even know how they do it. I don't have the skills to do it or to understand that. And so I'm not even, like questioning myself too much about it, because it's so far from the way I do my things. And then, yeah, there can be some tricks to promote the music a little bit more, but it's not it's not like the album, the music, the idea, the concept, everything is not made to be sold that way. So
Right.
So it's I don't know, like, yeah, probably others they do it, as I said, like in the pop music, they can do it, and they do it and it works. For us it's different, and we keep working on the big picture and the big artwork, as I said. And yeah, we people have bites of it, like with the singles, or with like a small story, or as much as they have bites of it with an interview or whatever, or just a
Right.
picture, that brings you into a different atmosphere, a different world. But it's just a bigger, a bigger process, and those are just small bites of a bigger meal, and which is the most important thing in the end for us.
Right. Well, I think also people in our world, in the more underground world, I think we are more apt to listen to an album as
Yeah,
a whole from
yeah.
start to finish instead of
As
a
I said, I mean,
playlist of
like, that's
singles.
why we play safe in a way. I mean, like, we are not becoming a TikTok band, and we can still do it because there is this kind of like the scene we are in is like this, you
Yeah.
know. Then you have exceptions, or again, TikTok can help you, but the point is not becoming famous to with like a ballet or something like that, you know. Like, it's more like that's much there's much more, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we are lucky that this kind of genre has this kind of audience that is still very you know, it's different. It's not just they don't consume the thing just for like it like they don't use it and throw it away, you know. They want to get into it, and
Well, yeah,
yeah,
you're absolutely right.
it's
They want to
a
enjoy
totally
it.
different approach to the music, to a
Yeah.
band.
Yeah, it really is. It's such a different world. Like, I think it's a different thought process with music. I feel like
Absolutely.
a lot of people in the pop or the more like radio friendly arena are more, they listen to it more as background music, where
Yeah,
people who are into this are
possible.
focused on the details. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's,
I mean, like, it's yes, like, also the audience, you can tell the difference, not just because we behave, or we enjoy, or we dress in a different way. It's also like, if you go to a, like, sometimes a pop artist, or like especially the commercial ones, because not all the pop artists are bad, or like
right.
they do it for, no, it's like it. I'm super open minded, like. But most of the time, like, many times it happens that people just heard something like a snippet on TikTok, and they go to a concert just for those 40 seconds. Like, they don't like. They never heard about anything else from that artist. They don't know what to expect, and most of the time the show is boring, and it's shit, and they have a hit and they play it 2 3 times, or they remix it in different styles or whatever, but it's like playing over and over the same music, because they don't really have much to say. It's more a commercial product,
Yeah.
sold to the people. And then the industry maximize with concerts as well, but if you go to a Lady Gaga concert, it's more like like definitely more like a heavy metal concert. There's a lot of art in there. There is a
Yeah.
lot of people working, a lot of um, talent, and but this kind of things, like, are real artists that build their career throughout you know years, ages. They represent in like a new era of pop, for example.
Yeah.
But the commercial shit you get on the radio, sometimes it's just like, oh, this is a cool chorus, like, or this girl, shake the boobs, or shake the ass here, and then let's go and check the ass live, something like that. And then you go there and you see it for 5 seconds, and the game is over. Like, there's really nothing, there.
Right.
And exactly the opposite. It's exactly what I'm against of. Like, I fight. like all my life, I fought for the value of things, for the substance, and not just the appearance,
Yeah.
like not the external, the shell, but what's inside. So
Well, it's also like the difference in creating music, right? Like you
yeah,
said earlier, you create music that you want. You do it for you,
yeah,
whereas I think this is probably the major difference between like pop or radio, a lot of, not all of it, but a lot of pop or radio friendly music versus a lot more of the underground, because down here it's very much like whether 10 people buy it or 100 people or 100,000 people buy it, we're still creating. It's gonna be
yeah,
this, you know,
yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's fundamentally the same.
Yeah.
So, okay, Francesco, I know that you have shit to do today, and I don't want
Oh,
to keep you
yeah,
much longer.
it's been a
Uh,
pleasure, man.
yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your time, the time you've allotted me today. I can't wait for April. I don't even remember the date right now. It's
I
either
don't know, but it's sometime between April and in May.
A- April 16th is the
The
first
16th,
show.
yeah, the first show is 16th. Is I think it's Sacramento,
Yeah.
so a bit far, but not super far. Like probably like in a couple of weeks we're gonna be in the area. So
Yeah, pretty quickly you're going to be in the area. So, um, safe travels, and I'll see you on the road.
oh, thank you very much, man. Thank you, and
All right.
yeah, goodbye. Cheers.
See ya.